Imagine a summer camp in rural Ontario, 1976. A small group of strangers gathers, eyes gleaming with hope and suspicion. They're not just campers, they're joining a new religious movement led by charismatic David Berg. Questions swirl: why here, why them, what pulls ordinary people into these tight-knit, secretive worlds? Lorne Dawson's research unlocks this puzzle, revealing the real stories behind the sensational headlines about cults. But first, what exactly drives someone into such a group? Understanding a cult's origin feels like watching a wildfire start, small sparks in the right dry conditions. But what exactly are those sparks, and who lights them? David Berg started the Children of God in the late 1960s, tapping into the era's yearning for radical community and spiritual freedom. His group initially attracted disillusioned hippies in California before spreading worldwide. What made Berg's message contagious was how it fused intimacy, rebellion, and spiritual promise, all framed as a family. Dawson's deep dive shows how context and timing can make or break a cult's birth. Think of a cult like an ecological niche in the human social landscape. Just as certain plants thrive only when the soil, climate, and competitor species align, cults flourish where social unrest, spiritual hunger, and alienation meet fertile ground. This social ecosystem explanation illuminates why some groups sprout suddenly and others wither away, emphasizing environment over mere leader charisma. The real shock: groups like the Children of God aren't eternally fringe. Some cults quietly morph, adopting mainstream practices or influencing politics and culture subtly. Dawson uses this to challenge the us versus them stereotype, showing cults as dynamic entities that shift boundary lines. This flips the scary cult image on its head. They aren't always distant, but sometimes disturbingly close. Picture Sarah, a shy college student in 1980s Toronto, drawn to a campus group promising belonging and truth. Why her? Why now? Dawson's research peels back the motivations behind entry into these worlds. Sarah's fight feels familiar, facing isolation in a big city, wrestling with existential dread. At a time when traditional religion felt dry, she found a new group offering a warm community and answers to her biggest questions. Dawson recounts dozens like her, young, searching, vulnerable. Cults grow because they speak directly to universal human needs, not just fringe weirdness. Joining a cult works like walking into a dimly lit room where everything suddenly clicks into focus. The mechanism, offering crystal-clear identity and roles in a confusing world. Dawson compares it to a puzzle. Outside, life's pieces feel scattered; inside, they fit perfectly. This certainty creates a powerful pull, even if at a high cost. But here's the kicker: once inside, members' identities get rewired. Regular social roles fade, replaced by new names, rituals, and worldviews. Dawson points out that this transformation can be so profound it's almost chemical. That's what makes leaving so hard. You're not just walking away from a group, but from a whole self. Violence is the cult stereotype. What causes it? Dawson digs into cases like the Branch Davidians to explain when faith twists into fanaticism and bloodshed. In 1993 at Waco, leader David Korsh's sect faced a deadly siege from the FBI. The standoff ended in a tragic fire, claiming over 70 lives. Dawson examines the slow buildup, how isolation, Korsh's apocalyptic prophecies, and government aggression created a pressure cooker of fear and paranoia. This wasn't random violence, but a catastrophic breakdown amplified by context. Dawson likens cult isolation to a pressure valve sealing tight. Cut off from outside perspectives and relentlessly fed us versus them narratives, paranoia escalates like steam in a sealed pot. This dynamic can distort even peaceful intentions into preemptive violence, as members believe survival demands extreme action. Here's the surprising insight: violence in cults often emerges not from malice but strategic desperation. When everything outside is framed as enemy and inside as sacred, violence becomes a protective shield for the group's ultimate survival. Dawson challenges us to see these moments as tragic failures of communication rather than mere villainy. Remember that sunny Ontario camp where strangers first met Berg? That hopeful moment is just the start of a complex journey through desire, control, and transformation. Dawson's lens shows us cults aren't myths, they're human puzzles shaped by our social world. Next time you spot someone searching for belonging, ask not just why cult, but what need is being met here. Try this. Next time you judge a strange idea, pause and ask, what's the story behind the curtain? Subscribe for more book summaries like this one.